know, every day at the Chopra Center, I see people who are trapped by their own limiting thoughts and own limiting choices. I've come to the conclusion that in the cosmos, this is the earthly plane. It's like the Betty Ford Clinic of the planet. And so we want to break out of that conditioning and realize that reality flows from that conversation. That conversation flows from connection to a deeper level of awareness. And if we can change that conversation, we can change anything. We can change our own life, we can change the lives of the people around us, and we can really make a contribution to healing and transforming this planet. So, you know, probably most of us, thank you. Most of us were raised in a Judeo-Christian tradition, right? Even though we're now becoming more interested in Eastern philosophy. How many people here went to Sunday school? Okay, great. So most of us. So, you know, about 2 years ago, I wanted to see how I could integrate these principles that I've been studying in my life for, you know, over 30 years now with the principles that I was taught throughout my first 2 decades of life. And I wrote a book called 10 Commitments, which was really trying to retranslate the 10 Commandments into a new vocabulary that really served us, that empowered us, that allowed us to make more conscious choices to create a greater reality. So does anybody remember what the first commandment is? So for those of you who don't, you're going to go to hell, but that's okay. We'll be there with you. So the first commandment is, I'm the Lord thy God who brought you out of the house of slavery. Okay? And the usual way of interpreting that commandment is that you have to make a declaration of commitment to one boss. You know, in this case it was Jehovah or Yahweh, that I'm the boss, and if you honor me, if you pray to me, then I'll make sure that you're taken care of. But another way of looking at that is that it's the second part of the commandment that's really the secret. This commandment to move out of slavery, to move into greater levels of freedom. This is the essence of moksha. But you have to remember the scene. You know, the scene most of us learned was watching Charleston Heston. The scene is the Israelites have escaped from Egypt, they're at the Red Sea, but then the Pharaoh changes his mind and starts barreling down. And as he barrels down, Moses looks up to God and says, God, what should I do? And God tells Moses, raise up your staff and have the Israelites step into the sea. So Moses raises up his staff, and what happens? Nothing. Nothing happens. So Moses is now getting a little bit more anxious, and he says, God, tell me what to do here. And God says, I already told you what to do. Don't ask me what to do. Ask the Israelites to step into the sea. The staff was just to show off. So then, of course, it's not always that easy to get people to walk beyond their limitations, to take a step into something that looks perhaps a little bit challenging. But as the Israelites began to take their steps into the sea, then the sea parted. This is a core principle in Ayurveda, that our intentions have infinite organizing power. That you set the intention, you take that first step. It's a little bit courageous, but as soon as you begin to actualize that intention, as the amazing Mr. Farley did with the intention of creating this organization, when it's an intention that's in alignment with nature, with the universe, you know, when an idea is, the time is not right for an idea, there's nothing you can do to make it happen. But when the universe is ready for an idea, there's nothing you can do to keep it from happening. So when your personal intentions are in alignment with evolutionary intentions, nothing can stop it. But you still have to take that first step. And when you take that first step, that's that step towards freedom. That's that step towards moksha. So you know this word ZRII. It's an amazing, beautiful word. It's a derivative of the Sanskrit word Shri, which in many different ways it means all these things that you've been hearing about, prosperity and luster. But at its essence, it means the highest. It means the highest. You know, the coconut in Ayurveda is known as Shri Palam, which means the highest fruit, because it grows higher than anything else. So by embracing the essence of this sound, ZRII, it's really calling upon us to be the most that we can be, to be the highest, to be filled with that sense of abundance, to have love radiating in our beings, in every interaction, not just the people you're trying to engage in ZRII, but the waitress and the postman and everyone in your family. That it's that commitment to Dharma, which is to express my deep meaning and purpose and talent in life, which supports my own individuality, but also the intention of wholeness. And then that commitment to moksha, to freedom, to liberation, to expansion, to going outside of the boundaries of the conditioned self and realizing that life is very precious, that we don't want to waste it for a moment. And so we have that capacity. We can do this together. Next course, next convention, let's have 40,000 people here. Let's really make this a change. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank you.